The second trail code that we can use is a reason code, and a reason code of course explains why a specific entry is posted. Let's go to the application. So I will use the search function to go to reason codes. And here you can see that Cronus currently isn't using reason codes, which means that reason codes are not mandatory. Source codes you will have to use, but reason codes, again, not mandatory, so I will only use them if I want. So to enter reason codes, we only need to enter a description, a code and a description. So I will enter a couple of examples, year end, and I will also enter lost and damaged. There we go. So let me correct this one. A couple of reason codes. Now, a couple of things that are important. First of all, intentionally I've used reason codes that are pointing to, like for example, a general journal like year end, and reason codes that you probably will use in an item journal like lost items, damaged items, and so on. Just to point out that reason codes are a generic system that you can use in each journal in NAV. So not only general journals, item journals, but also resource journals, job journals, and so on. So first example I will make is one with the general journals. So if I look for the general journals, there we go. I will use the cash journal. And suppose that I'm entering a correction. So I will post on an expense account for an amount of 100, for example. And by going now to the choose columns function, you can add the reason code column. So here in the general journal, you will find the reason code column at the bottom of the list. So I've already enabled the column, which means that now if I scroll to the right, you can see the reason code appearing. And now I can simply add a reason code explaining why I'm doing this posting. For example, this is a correction. So let me now post. So the journal lines are posted, and basically this means that if I now go to the chart of accounts, to one of the accounts that I've used in my general journal, and if I now go to the ledger entries, so I will do this by clicking on ledger entries in the navigate tab. Let me sort differently so that I can look up my transaction that I just posted. So here it is. So the first line is the result of what I just posted from the general journal. If I now again click on choose columns, I can look for the reason code column. So if I scroll down, there you see, so I can add the reason code column. And now you will of course see that the reason code will display correction. So now I know that someone, in this case myself, has posted this entry because of a correction. So this was a correction. You see, so that's basically the idea of a reason code, giving an explanation of why a posting is done. So this was an example from the general journal, but you can also do the same from an item journal. So if I go to item journals, and if I enter, for example, a negative adjustment, and if I take item, let's say 70,000, side panel, from location blue to pieces, again, I can do the same. So I can go to the choose columns function. I can scroll down to add the reason code column. And again, I can give an explanation. Why am I posting a negative adjustment of this item in this case? Maybe because it's damaged. So we have to remove it from inventory because it's damaged. We cannot sell it anymore. And that's why I'm posting a negative adjustment. So now you can click on post. Yes, and everything is posted, including the reason code. Now there's one thing that you might have to take into consideration, and that's the fact that reason codes are only saved on GL entries. So you will not find a reason code on an item ledger entry. You have to go to the GL entries, and there you can find the reason codes also posted, for example, from an item journal. You can now go to the practice of this lesson on reason codes.